Mr. Hadley, are you all set with Mr. Hernandez?
We indeed are.
Okay, thank you. Mr. French, can you hear me?
Today is Monday, July 10th, 2023. I'm Judge Martin. This is courtroom number 1. Our docket this morning is exclusively criminal matters, sentencings, show causes, and arraignments. If that's not what you're here for, you're in the wrong place. You should send a chat message to court staff and they will help you get where you are supposed to be. The first thing I believe that is ready is 22SU01121 AOD. This is Sumter Township versus Jacobs. May I have your appearances, please?
Good morning, Your Honor. Ron French appearing on behalf of Mr. Jacobs.
Mr. Jacobs, state your name for me, sir.
Ron George Jacobs.
Thank you. Today is the day and time set for sentencing in this matter. It's alleged that, well, not alleged, it's factual now, that on November 18, 2022 in Sumter Township, Mr. Jacobs was charged with operating while intoxicated. He appeared before this court on June the 8th, 2023, and entered a plea of guilty to the reduced count of operating while visibly impaired. As is this court's policy, Mr. Jacobs was referred to the court's probation department for an interview on the development of a sentence recommendation. That has been completed. The court has received that recommendation reviewed it along with the accompanying police report, Mr. Jacobs' driving record, reference to his criminal history, and all of the other information that was submitted to the probation department. Mr. French, have you received that information and reviewed it with your client?
I have, Your Honor. No
Any
corrections.
additions, corrections, or deletions?
No, Your Honor. We would simply ask the court to adopt that recommendation.
Thank you. The court will adopt the recommendation made by probation officer Anthony Grant and will place Mr. Jacobs on 12 months of probation. The court will also impose a fine of $300, cost of $200. There's $75 mandatory crime victims fee. There's $50 mandatory state costs, $20 fund fee, $125 in restitution to Sumter Township. The oversight fees associated with the probation of $480. That's a total of $1,250. Additionally, Mr. Jacobs will serve 24 hours of community service at a nonprofit organization and provide documentation to the probation department. He will enroll in substance abuse treatment beginning within 30 days of today's date and follow all recommendations made by that program and provide documentation again to probation as directed. He will not purchase, possess, consume any alcoholic beverages or non-prescription controlled substances without this court's approval and will submit to random testing with ETG at least twice per month or as otherwise directed by the probation department. He will make equal monthly payments for the fines and costs that have been assessed and oversight fees that have been assessed in this matter. And Mr. Jacobs, the probation department will be in contact with you to formally put you on probation. There'll be paperwork for you to sign, and they will help you get set up on the payment plan. It is this court's desire that you be successful at probation and that we support you in whatever way you need. So if you need someplace to do your community service hours, you have any questions about getting enrolled in the program or anything at all, reach out to Mr. Grant when you know that you are starting to need support versus waiting until you are failing to comply with your orders of probation. Was there anything else in this matter, Mr. Grant?
No, Your Honor.
Anything, Mr. Jacobs?
No, ma'am.
I'm sorry, Mr. French.
No, Your Honor.
Thank you. Mr. Jacobs, good luck to you, sir. I hope not to see you again.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Have a good day.
Okay.
This is 23, excuse me, 0149 SD. This is State of Michigan versus Victor Hernandez. May I have your appearance, please?
Good morning, Your Honor. Attorney Josh Hadley, appearing on behalf of the defendant, Mr. Victor Hernandez. Mr. Hernandez, please state your name for the court.
Victor Hernandez.
Thank you. Mr. Hernandez, let me apologize to you for having you come back on in this matter. What happened is you appeared for sentencing back on June the 26th, 2023, and the court imposed a sentence for the operating while intoxicated, but there was a count two companion that the court failed to impose the fines and costs for. This will not change your length of probation. It just is to make clear that there are fines and costs specifically and separately for that count two possession of the controlled substance. So is Mr. Hadley, was there anything you wanted to say in this matter before this amended sentence is imposed?
No, Your Honor. Basically, I'd just like to parrot back what you just said. I apologize to Mr. Hernandez, explained to him that this was basically a procedural oversight. I thank you to Mr. Grant for catching this, and Mr. Hernandez understands, we're here doing this again. We're ready to move forward with sentencing.
Thank you. Again, Mr. Hernandez, this does not extend your original probation or add anything other than the monetary part for count two. So for count two, the fines and costs will be a $500 fine, $200 in costs, $50 mandatory, I'm sorry, $200 in regular costs, $50 mandatory state costs, and $20 fund fee. That's an additional $770 added to the fines and costs that were imposed back on June the 26th. And again, my apologies for not catching it. Mr. Grant sent the file back upstairs. Mr. Hadley, was there anything else in this matter this morning?
No, Your Honor. Thank you for addressing that. We're good to go on Mr. Hernandez. And thank you, Mr.
Mr.
Hernandez,
Hernandez.
for popping in.
Thank you.
Thank you, sir. My apologies for interrupting your morning.
No problem.
Have a
Thank
good
you
day, sir.
as well.
Yeah, good catch on that, Mr. Grant. Sorry about that.
No, it's probably my fault to begin with. I should have made it a little clearer.
The original register of actions, it doesn't look like I'm used to it looking with two boxes for count one and count two. And so when I flipped the page, I just honestly I didn't see it.
We can all own that one then, guys.
Have we seen Mr. Jadali yet this morning? No, okay.
Judge, I did send him the information for the arraignment. I have not heard anything back yet. I know that they technically are not on call until 9, so I was going to check in with him a little bit closer to 9 and see if he received the information.
Thank you, ma'am. I didn't realize it was still so early. Okay. Officer Brooks brought the file up, so I brought it out with me. It looks like our next thing is scheduled at 9 o'clock. So when Ms. Bowers jumps on, Mr. Hadley.
I'll be here and ready.
Thank you, sir.
We'll see what we do.
Where is this here in Huron River Township, this judge?
Just at the court, district court.
Good morning, Huron.
Good morning.
We are just waiting on the attorney to join. As soon as he's here, we'll get you into a breakout room.
Okay, all right.
Officer Grant,
Yes,
good morning.
good morning.
You have a call parked on 101 if you're able to pick it up.
All right, thanks.
This is just waiting to see if Mr. Jadala might be in another meeting. This is 230515 SM, State of Michigan versus Sean Duggar. May I have your appearances, please?
Respectfully, Your Honor, Sam Richardala, P 62186, MIDC Arraignment Counsel, appearing on behalf of Mr. Duggar. For purposes of today's arraignment, we'd waive formal reading and stand mute. Mr. Duggar understands what he's being charged with, as well as the possible penalties. Gone over his rights, he doesn't understand those, Your Honor.
Thank you. Mr. Duggar, state your name for the record.
Sean Duggar.
Thank you, sir. You've had the opportunity to speak to Mr. Jadala this morning, and you understand the charges you face and the possible penalties.
Yes, ma'am, I do.
Sir, Mr. Jadala has waived your right to have the formal reading of the complaint against you. The court is having you stand mute to the charges against you. Sir, you have the right to be considered for pretrial release in this matter. The recommendation from Huron Township is that your bond be set at 5,000, 10%, and a condition of your bond is that you have no contact with the complainant, in this case, no contact with Jamie McFalls. Mr. Jadala, your comment as to bond.
Your Honor, I believe Mr. Duggar has no priors. He lets me know he does have 5 children that he's solely responsible for, ranging from ages 12 to 6. He is employed as a millwright, Your Honor. He's also a deacon at his local church. He's not on probation or parole. He has no holds or warrants. He's been incarcerated 3 days now. And I've explained to him, Your Honor, that there is going to be a do not contact, do not return order. He fully intends to abide by all of that and abide by all orders of the court. We respectfully request that this court would consider a personal bond in this matter.
Thank you. Respectfully, Mr. Jadala, the court is reviewing Mr. Duggar's criminal history, and although the cases were dismissed, there have been prior incidents alleging domestic violence. The recommendation from Huron Township reports that there have been 2 runs to the same address, 2 prior incidents with the same complainant or victim. For that reason, the court will adopt a recommendation from the police department and set Mr. Duggar's bond at 5,000, 10%. There will be a no contact order. Mr. Duggar, no contact means no contact, no direct contact, no contact through third parties, except as is necessary to provide for the care and support of the children. If this court receives information from the police department that you have made efforts to be in contact with the complainant, Ms. Jamie McFalls, beyond what is necessary to arrange for Mr. Jadala, that might be an incorrect conclusion by the court. Are the children that you reference children he has in common with the complainant?
Mr. Duggar,
Yes, sir.
of those 5 children, how many do you have with Ms. McFalls?
2.
So no contact beyond what is necessary to arrange for the care and support of the children. Other than that, sir, if this court receives report that you've made contact with the complainant, it could be viewed as a violation of your bond. Your bond could be revoked, and you can spend the rest of these proceedings in custody. Do you understand?
Yes, ma'am, that won't be an issue. I will not go over there. I will not contact her. I can
Thank you so
contact a
very
third
much.
party to see my kids, right?
Understood. Yes, sir. That's why I said, except as is necessary to
Okay.
arrange for the children.
Thank you, ma'am.
You're welcome. Your next court date will be in person on July 25th, 2023 at 9:30 a.m. with Judge Oakley in courtroom number 2. Again, this file number is 230515 SM. Next appearance date in person, July 25th at 9:30 a.m. with Chief Judge Brian Oakley in courtroom number 2. Anything else, Mr. Jadala?
Nothing further, Judge. Thank you.
Thank you. Anything else, Huron?
No, Your Honor, thank you. Thank you, ma'am.
Thank you. Have a good day, Mr. Duggar. Thank
too.
you, Mr.
ma'am.
Jadala.
Judge, can I just confirm the plea for that arraignment?
Could you just confirm the what, ma'am?
The plea. Was it not guilty or stood mute?
I thought Mr. Jadala stood mute. Did you hear him say not guilty?
I did not hear it, so I just wanted to make sure I.
Oh, he waived the formal reading and stood mute to the charges.
Okay, thank you, Judge.
Thank you, ma'am.
Are you okay with an email PTR?
Absolutely. I have one probation matter. When I handle Ms. Bauer's case, I'll go sign it for you.
Thank you, Judge.
You're welcome, ma'am. This is 22BL00649 BOD. This is City of Belleville versus Bowers. May I have your appearances, please? Mr. Hadley?
Your Honor, I've not spoken with Miss Bowers.
Oh,
Did she ask for MIDC? I just saw her get moved. You know what? Let me just go talk to her. I'll be right back. Give me 1 second.
thank you. Mary Ann, if Mr. Hadley comes back, hold him. I just want to get Andy's release signed.
Okay.
Thank you. This is a recall of 22BL 00649 BOD. This is the City of Belleville versus Bowers. Your appearances, please.
Good morning, Your Honor. Attorney Josh Hadley, appearing on behalf of the defendant, Ms. Jayma Bowers. Can you please state your name for the court?
Jayana Bowers.
Thank you. Today is the day and time set for hearing on, for the review of the violation of probation as to Ms. Bowers. When we were last here on June the 5th, 2023, this matter was adjourned to allow Ms. Bowers to complete her 24 hours of community service and provide documentation to the probation department, resume payment of the fines and costs in this matter, which now have a total due of $935. When we were here last, Ms. Bowers indicated that she was starting a job with Amazon on June the 25th and would resume payments for her to sign up for and begin testing. In the interim, this court has received report that there has been no substantial improvement regarding compliance with these issues of probation. Mr. Hadley, you've had the chance to speak to Ms. Bowers. How are we proceeding this morning?
Thank you, Your Honor. As to the update for the court, the marijuana field testing, Ms. Bowers has obtained a medical marijuana card she shared with me today. Ms. Bowers, did you get a copy of that over to Mr. Grant?
Yes, I sent it over this morning.
Okay, just wanted to make sure we were covered on that had been over there. Your Honor, I don't have anything in the way of the documentation for community service. Ms. Bowers and I discussed that. She did confirm that she has completed these. As to the payment, the Amazon start date for her employment has been moved until August 6th, but she will actually be at Amazon today doing, can you explain that, Ms. Bowers? You said it was pre-employment.
Yeah, pre-hire. I just have to go do a drug test and take my photo ID picture, and I actually start on August 6th.
Okay. So, Your Honor, we would state that we understand there's been a few hiccups along the way, but it does appear from where we're sitting that Ms. Bowers is in a position to be making payments starting next month. Ms. Bowers, as far as the community service, where did you complete that at?
Just a church down the street from my house.
Do you have any documentation that you can provide to Mr. Grant?
Yes.
Can you get that to him today?
Yes.
Your Honor, with all that said, I would ask for another recall date. Give us a little bit more time for compliance if the court's so willing to grant that. And Ms. Bowers, you understand what we're saying, which would be giving you a little more time, but we've got to get this taken care of.
Yes, I understand.
Mr. Grant, Your Honor, we would just ask exactly for that. A little more time for Ms. Bowers to get this lined up.
Mr. Grant, your position?
Your Honor, she has sent me some documentation for the alcohol education. She's in a program called Flip the Script. So I do have something there. The testing, she did sign up for the testing at JAMS. However, she did provide a positive test for THC. I guess my position is she asking for permission from the court then to use marijuana when she provided that medical marijuana card this morning? And then she also did send me a text message to verify that her Amazon start date has been pushed back for the fines and costs. I'm content, Your Honor, if we want to just push it back to either the end of this month, or if she would prefer the 21st of August to review this again.
Let's say
Your
August the 21st, only because if her start date is August the 6th, we need to allow some time for her to get the community service hours in and begin to make payments. So the question is, at what time, Mr. Grant, on the 21st?
We could do let's do 9:30 a.m.
Thank you very much.
Ms.
Ms.
Bowers, we will
Bowers.
continue this. Ms. Bowers will continue this matter to August 21st, 2023 at 9:30 a.m. back here on Zoom. If for some reason your employment causes you not to be available, you need to reach out to Mr. Grant before that scheduled court date and let him know. That's number one. Number two, your community service hours, those 24 hours, you need to submit documentation to him that has been completed. Number three, you are to make payment in this matter before you appear again. If you continue to be in violation of your probation, when you come back on August the 21st, our conversation will not be about an adjournment. Our conversation will be about consequences for failing to comply with the probation that has now been in place since March the 27th. Are we on the same page, ma'am?
Yes, ma'am.
Anything else, Mr. Hadley?
No, Your Honor, thank you. Your
Anything
Honor,
else, Mr. Grant?
Yes, I just wanted to know the court's stance on the medical marijuana. Will she be in violation if she continues to test positive, or are we going to allow the medical marijuana card?
Your
Yes,
Honor.
Mr.
Yeah, very briefly, I'd make a impromptu motion to modify conditions of probation to allow for medical marijuana use in compliance with the Michigan medical marijuana laws.
Mr. Grant, if you are satisfied with the documentation she's presented regarding her medical marijuana status, the court would grant that request, but that you've seen the paperwork, this court hasn't.
Yes, I have. I'm satisfied with it, Your Honor.
Thank you, Mr. Grant.
That we will amend your probation, Ms. Bowers, to allow for the medical marijuana. You said you are going in for a drug test today. This court is not aware of Amazon's stance regarding drug use of any kind, even though marijuana is legal. So that's something for you to take up with your employer, but we're amending your probation. Anything else, Mr. Hadley?
No, Your Honor.
Thank you.
Have a good day, ma'am. Good luck to you with Amazon.
Thanks.
Take your cap off, please. Mr. Hadley, do you need to speak to?
Ms. Taylor, I'm moving
Taylor.
into my room right now.
Thank you.
Your Honor, Christopher Campbell, I believe, is represented by Attorney Schluss. Oh, there she is.
Good morning, Your
Ma'am, did you
Honor.
need to speak? Good morning. Did you need to speak to Mr. Campbell? Or have you
No,
already
we've
spoken to him
spoken.
about the violation? Okay.
We have spoken.
This is 220606 SM. This is State of Michigan versus Christopher Campbell. May I have your appearances, please?
Good morning, Your Honor. Deborah Schlossel on behalf of the defendant, Mr. Christopher Campbell. Mr. Campbell, please state your name.
Hi, this is Christopher Campbell.
Mr. Campbell, turn your video on for me, please.
Oh, sorry, that was not on.
Thank you. Today is the day and time set for the show cause. There is a violation information that this court received from probation agent Anthony Grant that alleges that Mr. Campbell has been arrested for a OWI in Canton Township on May the 26th, 2023.
Your Honor, I am representing Mr. Campbell in that matter. Your Honor, we would ask that you hold off on this until the underlying matter or until the other matter is resolved. But by way of information, Your Honor, since the date of that, my client has been, Your Honor, I hear an echo. Do you hear that?
You might hear it because the courtroom is like a two-story courtroom, so it makes it, I think that might be part of it.
Okay, Your Honor, my client, since the date of the alleged incident, has been in sober living where he is tested daily and sees a counselor regularly. He also has completed 2 weeks of intense inpatient therapy at Maple Grove. Your Honor, he has been sober since that date, and he has been involved in a number of other activities towards continuing sobriety, and I will let him tell the court about those. Mr. Campbell.
Before he does, ma'am, there's no appearance in the file from you. I just need your P number so the staff can update it.
Okay, Your Honor, just for information, I did file my appearance online through your court's online appearance system. My P number is 56420.
Thank you. The files have been up here for a week, so if you filed it, it just hasn't made it to the file yet, but we'll get them connected and updated. Mr. Campbell.
Yes, thank you. Yeah, as she stated, this was an unfortunate relapse that resulted in me leaving the sober house that I was before when I was on probation. I was on my way to rehab and was pulled over, unfortunately. But as she has stated, I completed my inpatient. I am enrolled in outpatient 6 weeks. I see a therapist. I go to daily meetings. I am being tested weekly for the incident in the 35th district, all positive. I signed up for JAMS and I'm testing.
Negative, all negative.
Yeah, as Mr. Grant requested me to do when this was found out. I do that monthly. I've gone twice for there. I'm just in recovery. I had an unfortunate relapse. It was quick. It was very painful. I now have to suffer the consequences, but I'm following all steps and involved in all programs in recovery to get me back on track, which I am. I will be going back to work, hopefully, when my outpatient is over. I've been seeing my daughter almost daily, actually, since the summer, every other day. Me and Christina Heath, which this original case was with, we're on good terms. She knows everything that has happened. Unfortunately, it was a relapse, but I'm taking all the steps necessary to be accountable, be responsible, and be in recovery.
And Your Honor, I can tell you that the matter is before Judge Plakis at 35th District Court. And I can tell you, he said that my client has taken more steps than almost anybody that's before him, and that usually people put their work first. My client has taken a leave of absence from work to attend to this, and he's put this first before everything.
Thank you. Mr. Grant.
Your Honor, outside of that arrest in Canton Township, the defendant has been compliant with everything that's been ordered by this court. He's had no contact with the victim that I know of. He's completed his 12-week of anger management. He's provided probation with documentation of his medications, and he's been making his payments on time. Your Honor, actually, I should add though, once I did notice that he picked up the charge from operating while impaired out of Canton Township, I did have Mr. Campbell start testing once a month at JAMS, which he immediately signed up for and has negative test results for any alcohol or drug use.
So, Mr. Grant, in keeping with Ms. Schlossel's request, are you recommending that we adjourn this matter maybe over to August 21st? Are you?
I don't even know if we need to do that. We could just place him back on probation. And I'll continue to monitor his progress.
Thank
I have
you.
no objection
Ma'am?
to that, Your Honor.
I was going to say, unless you have some objection. So what the court will do, Mr. Campbell, is have you remain on probation with this court. In the interim, this court did take the opportunity to look at the case and saw that it was with Judge Plakis, that the next appearance date was August the 2nd. And thank you, Mr. Campbell, for reporting what you've done since the offense date in Canton. I remember the sentencing and the conversation, well, the letter submitted by Ms. Heath, and there was some concern. And I appreciate you and not congratulate you, that's probably not the right word. Hopeful for you, given the fact that you recognize that this relapse was, as you indicated, short and painful, and has you back testing regularly, has you in having a relationship with your daughter. I know that I said it at sentencing, and I'll say it again now. If there's anything that you need from this court to be successful with our probation or support you with Judge Plakis and however that case resolves, reach out to Mr. Grant. Otherwise, good luck to you in the sober living situation. Anything else on behalf of Mr. Campbell?
No, Your Honor. Thank you, Your Honor.
Thank you.
Yes.
Mr. Campbell, good luck to you, sir. No worries.
Thank you, Your Honor.
Thank you.
Take care, sir.
Thank you.
Well, thank you.
Was that sufficient time with Ms. Taylor? You're mute. Okay. This is 220501 SM. Thank you, sir. This is State of Michigan versus Sheena Taylor. May I have your appearances, please?
Good morning, Your Honor. Attorney Josh Hadley, appearing on behalf of the defendant probationer, Ms. Sheena Taylor. Ms. Taylor, please state your name for the court.
Dana Taylor.
Thank you. Today is the day and time set for the show cause in this matter. The parties were last here on April the 17th, 2023, as Ms. Taylor had a new case out of the 72nd District Courts. That matter had been resolved and closed. The court received new information indicating that Ms. Taylor was arrested again on June 3rd, 2023 in Ferndale for a domestic violence case involving the same victim. Mr. Hadley.
Your Honor, upon information and belief, after speaking with Ms. Taylor, this matter out of Ferndale has been dismissed. There was police contact as noted on June 3rd, but no criminal charges stemmed out of that. It should be noted the complainant that's kind of been repeating in all of these instances is Ms. Taylor's wife. So the contact between the two of them, I believe, is really what we're looking at. Ms. Taylor indicated to me to stay in compliance with probation bond conditions, that she's been staying at another home. But again, we're looking at a reconciled couple that's, again, I believe has no pending open criminal matters at this time. Ms. Taylor,
Mr.
is what I
Grant.
stated to the court.
Oh, I'm sorry.
Accurate? No, I just want to make sure, Your Honor, that what I said was accurate as to these open pending charges. Ms. Taylor, is it correct that you do not have any criminal charges pending?
No, none.
Thank you, Your Honor.
Mr. Grant.
Your Honor, I guess I would have to take her word for that as well. I don't know that case itself was dismissed. Outside of that, Mrs. Taylor has she's paid in full. She's completed her 12-week anger management class. The issue is that she just continues to have contact with her, assaultive contact with her wife.
In Your Honor, in response, and thank you, Mr. Grant, we would just say allegedly assaultive, and we would ask that again, as that these anger management classes have been completed, fines and costs have been paid. I believe we're looking at a discharge date of probation of November. Again, I don't know if there's something we can do in the way of an early discharge or getting this moved along. But again, if this is about assaultive issues between the couple, I would just ask the court consider that and say that these folks are looking to move on past this and kind of move forward with their lives.
Respectfully, Mr. Hadley, the issue before this court is even between spouses, assaultive contact that elevates to the point where law enforcement is called and becomes involved twice now since Mrs. Taylor was placed on probation is cause for concern. Even with her payment of the fines and costs in this matter and completion of anger management, there's something about the anger management that's not sticking. And understand that you're saying these cases have been dismissed. There's no current open charges. There is some concern that there is a continued involvement of law enforcement when this couple is together. Now, what happens between spouses is what happens between spouses. It's the involvement of law enforcement that makes this court concerned. That's the end of the lecture part of it, I guess. So that's denying
fair,
your
Your
oral
Honor.
motion. Denying your oral motion for early discharge from probation. The probation expires, as you indicated, November 15, 2023. My hope is that there is not another violation information sent from Mr. Grant, that there is a new case, because if there's a third case that comes up, regardless of how it resolves, if there's a third case that comes up in this 1 year time, there's a cause for concern. If you want to revisit the issue of early discharge, you make the request again in writing. If there's a period of non-assaultive contact or non-assaultive contact reported to or involving law enforcement, the court might take a different position. But for right now, there's some concern about Ms. Taylor continuing to allegedly offend the same victim. If that's reasonable to
understand,
you,
Your Honor.
Mr. Grant. Okay.
We appreciate
Anything
the
else,
court hearing
Mr.
us
Grant?
out.
No, Your Honor.
Okay. Anything else, Mr. Hadley?
No, Your Honor. Again, thanks for the audience, and Ms. Taylor and I appreciate hearing us out.
Thank you. Ms. Taylor, good luck to you. Have a good afternoon.
Mm-hmm. You do too.
Thank you. The last case I have is 220437 FY. This is State of Michigan versus Brandy Davis. This matter was scheduled for, well, this matter was adjourned again for Ms. Davis to begin to make payment on the restitution in this matter. There was an issue of a check that she was waiting for, a tax return, I believe, was actually the allegation, and the court adjourned the matter now twice for her to do that. The original sentence in this matter, the probation was supposed to have was docketed to end back on May 15, 2023, but because of the failure to make payment on the restitution, the court had continued to adjourn this matter. It appears that she still has not made any payment. Mr. Grant, any update in this matter?
I checked this morning, Your Honor. There's been no change. No payment has been made.
No payment's been made, and Ms. Davis has failed to appear as directed by this court. We discussed this date when she was last here on June the 5th. Based on her failure to appear this morning, Mr. Grant, how would you like to proceed?
If we could place it into warrant status.
Case having been scheduled at 9:15, it's now 9:47 a.m. by the court's clock. Defendant having failed to appear, bench warrant shall issue in this matter. 5,000, 10%. Anything else in this case, Mr. Grant?
No, Your Honor.
Thank you. That concludes this court's docket for the morning. The only thing other that we might have are arraignments. So Mr. Hadley, thank you for your assistance this morning, sir.
Absolutely. Great to see everybody. Thank you, Mr. Grant. Thank you, Your Honor.
Thank you.
Thank you, sir. Well, this court stands adjourned.